Hey, welcome to Learning with Lynn. So today is Sunday. What is today? November 17th. And I want to welcome you out. I'm Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
And this is Richard. So welcome, you guys. Welcome here. We had some technical difficulties, so hope you can find us. We had to delete the last one and go live again. So anyway, if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so we know you were here. Let me move some things around really quick. I am going to, let's see, put that in. And there we go. Okay, so this is my blog. This is onlinebeautybiz.com. And today we're going to talk about stop overthinking. Easier said than done, right? So, hey, Carla, good to see you. So if you go to my blog, onlinebeautybiz.com, you can search for anything here in the search. If you're on your phone, that search is going to be at the very bottom. There's about 6 blog posts, and then you'll see all of this right side on the bottom. But we're just going to search for overthinking. And we're going to find it. And this is the post that we're going to talk about today. So this is going to be probably a short meeting tonight, but this is something that's really important because I think we're all guilty of this to some extent, and it kind of hurts our business. So I wanted to touch on it, but it seems like every time we turn around, someone is telling us how to think about our business, right? I mean, you know, whether we're just getting started or whether we've been selling for a long time, sometimes it's so easy to second guess ourselves. We start asking questions like, what should I say? Or how should I say it? Or what will they think? That's probably the biggest one. What will they think? How will they respond? Or what if they don't? And I mean, this is like when you're doing follow-ups, this is why I teach systems, because this is why I teach follow-up systems, that you do this one day 1 and you do this one on day 2 and you do this one on day 7, because then you don't have to overthink anything. You just do what you need to do because that's what's on the schedule today. And sometimes having that system makes it so much better because you're not trying to second guess yourself. And we all do this. And so, you know, if you send a message, if you text somebody and you send a message and they don't respond, you start getting paranoid, right? I mean, I do. Like, what if she doesn't have the money? You know, if you're following up with a prospect who might be interested in selling Avon, or a customer, what if she thinks I'm being pushy? Or why is she ignoring my email? Well, bottom line is she's probably not ignoring your email. And if she is, maybe she is, because that does happen. But more than likely, she's probably busy. You know, we all have so many things going on in our lives all the time, especially if we have kids. We're driving taxi cab for our kids, and we got to take care of our husbands and wives, and we just have things going on all the time. And so she could be just busy, and she could have 200 emails that she's received since yesterday, and she just hasn't even seen your email yet. So you send an email and you're like, why hasn't she responded? Well, maybe she just hasn't seen it yet. Or maybe she's sick or was up all night with a sick child and maybe finally got to bed at 7 o'clock this morning and hasn't even gotten to her email yet, right? Or maybe she saw your email and got distracted. I know that, especially today. In these days, I get distracted all the time. I try not to. I'm actually really, hi, Karen, good to see you. I'm actually really good about being focused, but you know, sometimes when I'm doing things, it's just amazing. I feel like I've got memory issues or something because I go online to do something and then I get distracted and then I forget to do what I was going to do in the first place. But you know, we're all guilty of that, right? I mean, it happens to all of us. So maybe she got distracted and she didn't respond to your email yet. Okay. So you definitely still want to follow up with her in a couple of days and remind her that you're getting ready to place your order, or that you're ready, or you have her order ready to deliver, or whatever it is that you were following up on. Because if you don't, until you hear different, it's so much easier just to assume that positive, assume that there's nothing malice or no forethought in there. Because people are just busy. They just don't have time. And this is like so important. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you. Glad to see you here. You are not a fortune teller. I don't know about you, but I know I'm not. I might think I am sometimes. But You're not a fortune teller. So don't ever assume what someone's response is going to be, because you don't know. You don't know what they're thinking, right? Making assumptions does so much more than stopping you from getting a sale. It also is a real disservice to your customer, who might be desperately scraping the bottom of her ultimate night cream. It desperately needs product. But because you assumed that she didn't respond to you, so therefore she might not want to buy from you ever again, then she's like, didn't get in your order because you placed your order already, and now she's got to wait 3 weeks for your next order, right? For me, that's a hard thing, because I'm spoiled, I guess. I used to live in California, and I mean, really, it was only like 2 hours away from the distribution center. So when I placed my order, I got it the next day. Now I place my order and it ships from Ohio. It takes a full week. Like, I place the order on Tuesday, I place it on Wednesday actually, and I don't get it till the next Wednesday. So if I place my order, I send out my reminders on Monday mornings to my customers, and then I place my order on Wednesday. If they miss that order, it's another full 2 weeks, and then another week before I receive it. So that's 3 weeks they have to wait for it. So that makes me feel really bad, which is all the more reason why you need to do those follow-ups, right? Because that customer is desperately scraping out the bottom of her ultimate night cream, and she didn't respond to you, and you didn't follow up with her. And now she's got to wait 3 weeks to get that night cream. You know what might happen is she might go to Target, which is what we don't want, right? But she needs her night cream, right? So when you make a decision about what her answer was, you just made her have to wait for 2 weeks for her next order. Or, it could be all kinds of things. Maybe you're following up on a potential prospect, and she just got busy and hasn't responded to you, and you write her off because you think, oh, she doesn't want to join Avon, and you write her off, and maybe she lost your phone number. I mean, so many things could be happening that you have no idea about, right? So it's really important. Just you do your follow-ups. You follow the systems that I've taught you, or the systems that you've put in place for your business, and you do those follow-ups, and you just do them like clockwork. You just do it, because that's what makes you provide good customer service. My customers love me because they know that they're going to get a text 2 days before my order goes in, or if they don't have a cell phone, they get a voice recording message 2 days before my order goes in. And then as soon as the order's in, we let them know it's here, well, as soon as we get their order, we confirm it, but then when the order comes in, we let them know it's here. Richard delivers it. And my customers love it because they know that they can depend on me, and they know that there's no, they don't have to, there's no surprises. So Bonnie says, I gave a customer a book, never got an order. Then I gave her a new book after 2 weeks and got $100 order. Woohoo! Go Bonnie. You know how often that happens? That happens so often because customer wasn't ready to order. People think this is gross, and I'm sorry, but it's reality. But what's going to happen is you're going to pass out books to people. It might sit on their countertop in their kitchen for a while, and then get buried or whatever. And maybe they clean off their countertop and they go, I really want to look at this. And they drop it in the bathroom, and then they're sitting on the toilet and they're looking at your book. I'm sorry, but it is how it is. They look at your book, or maybe they're laying in bed at night and they're looking at your book. Either way, they're not going to call you right now or text you right now because they're busy. But they're looking at your book. Maybe they turn down the pages. They know what they want. And then if you don't ever follow up, that book gets set down. They get distracted. They get busy with something else, and you've lost the order. Because in a couple more weeks, they'll be cleaning the house, and they'll see that brochure and they'll go, oh crap, that's expired. And you've lost the order. It's just that simple. It's not about, oh gosh, she's pushing me, or she's too bossy, or she's a nag. It's not about that at all. It's about they're just busy. They just didn't respond, or you didn't follow up. And so that's so important to not let yourself go there and start thinking about that, because that's just huge. It can hurt your business. So how do you stop thinking? How do you stop overthinking? Well, it's not easy. I mean, the ironic part is the best way to stop overthinking is to do more thinking, right? When you catch yourself questioning whether you should send that email or post that image or send that message because somehow you think they might respond, stop and ask yourself, how do I know that they're going to respond that way? Am I making that up in my head? Have they given me any indication And if the answer is none, then repeat after me. I am not a fortune teller, and I can't possibly know for sure that is how they will respond. And then go do the follow-up. Because unless they tell you, here's the deal. I don't play games. And so I'm following up. I'm getting books. I mail my books out to everybody. And then I follow up. They know they get a book every campaign without question. There's not any question. They get a book every campaign and they know it. And then I follow up before I place my order. And there's no question about that. My customers know that's what's going to happen. They know that that's how I do business. If they tell me they're not interested, if they say, oh, I don't want to receive books anymore, I'm like totally cool with that, because I don't want to waste my money on books, getting them books if they don't want them. So I am totally fine with that. There's no hurt feelings on my end. And it's just business. And it's just me providing excellent customer service to my customers. And Richard and I both do it the same way. We both follow the same systems. Well, we work together. And that's just how it is, right? I mean, you walk into Target or Kmart or Walmart or anywhere else, nobody's going to get their feelings hurt because you look at something on the shelf and then you put it back and you don't buy it. Nobody even is paying any attention to you. And it should be the same thing. You're providing a service to your customers, and you need to let go of the emotional attachment that comes with it. You're just providing a service, and you're providing good service, and that's the most important thing. And then your customers know that that's what you're doing, is you're providing good quality service. So this is all I really have. What do you guys have? Do you have questions? Do you want me to touch on anything? Richard, do you have anything you want to say?
No, it's true. I mean, the funny thing is, we've heard lots of times that you have an issue, you have a problem, and you call somebody, or somebody calls you, and you may not be available. But it's not like the world is sitting there waiting for you to call them. It is an operator standing by all the time. So yeah.
A perfect example of that is I had a rep. An Avon rep. This was years ago when I was in California, and I don't remember what it was. She had some kind of problem with her account, and she had to fax something in. And she called me and she goes, I faxed it in 10 minutes ago and they haven't done anything about it. And I said to her, seriously, you really don't honestly think they're standing by the fax machine waiting for your fax, do you? I mean, everybody's busy. And she said, oh, yeah. And she, I don't know, maybe she was embarrassed. But later on, she told me, she says, when you said that to me, she goes, it was like this bell went on in my head. Of course, they're not standing by the fax machine waiting for my fax. Of course, they're busy and they get to it as soon as they can get to it. And it's just, it is what it is. So let me see. Carla says, good point about shopping at Target. Yeah. It's true. It is. It's true. And if you can't get the product to them, a lot of them will end up going to Target, right? Because they need it. They need their face cream, or they need whatever. Or if you're not providing good customer service, then they may go with another rep. I get that a lot. I get people, and it's so funny. Everybody, I have two spectrums of this happening. I have reps that tell me, everybody sells Avon, it's oversaturated. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I get, by the same token, I'm out there working my business, and we're doing events, and we're passing out books, and we're talking to people. And you know what we hear? We hear, oh, is Avon still around? I haven't seen a book in years. Does that sound like oversaturated? It's not. It's really not. And a story about that, there's a little town in California called Fillmore, California. I think the population is around 11 to 15,000 people, something like that. And we lived in Ventura, which is about a half an hour away from Fillmore. And I had over 600 people on my team. But yet every campaign, the top 10 of my entire team, at least 5 or 6 of them were in Fillmore. And out of the top 10, out of all my 600 reps, were in Fillmore, and it's this little town. But the truth is, we all have our own sphere of influence. We all go to different church. We have different family. We have different friends. We work at different places. We all have a different sphere of influence. So even though the top 5 or 6 people out of my top 10 were in that little town, they managed just fine, and they weren't stepping all over each other like you think they would be, right? But they weren't. And 15,000 people in a town is actually pretty good. I mean, if you were to divide that between 5 reps, that's what, 5,000, 3,000 customers for each rep.
You could do pretty good business on that.
Yeah. And so it is, it's absolutely not oversaturated. So that's really important to think about. But I hear that all the time. I have reps telling me, "Oh, I can't sell Avon. No one wants it." And then I have customers telling me, different people, obviously, but customers telling me, "I haven't seen an Avon book in years. Oh my gosh, I love Avon." And if you're a rep and you're not out there trying to get your business, then I will get it, or somebody else who wants it that's maybe in your area, because it's there. It's there. You just have to go find it. So I'm running out of things to talk about. I really don't have that much to talk about today. I just wanted to deal with this because I did have a customer. I mean, I had a rep on our team who was overthinking herself, and that, some of that comes from self-esteem, right? Some of that comes from we think maybe we're not good enough, or we're less than, or whatever. But that's not true. That's not true for any of us. We're all really worth it, and we're valuable people, and all that. But even those of us who have confidence, who maybe some of us have worked at getting that confidence, because it is something you have to work at. But even those that have confidence, we have times of doubt. We've called somebody 3 times, and we've called somebody 10 times, and they've never responded. And I can tell you, I don't give up on prospects. When I get an Avon prospect, somebody who wants to sell Avon, I put them on my list. I put them in my system, and I have that system where I call, text, and email them right now, and then I text them again in one day, and then I email them 2 days later, and then I text them 3 days later, and then I start alternating emails and texts every week, I'm sorry. And then I start doing it every 2 weeks, and ultimately I end up texting or emailing them, alternating them once a month. But I don't ever stop unless they tell me to stop. Never, unless I see their obituary or they told me to leave them alone, that they weren't interested. And you know what? You'd be surprised at how many times I will sign somebody up that's been on my list for 2 years. And now's the right time for them. So it's not a matter of pushing, obviously you don't want to harass them. It's not like we're going to text them every day or call them every day. It's like over time we get down to where we're just doing it once a month, right? We're just staying in touch with them. And I've had people sign up 2 years later, after I've stayed in touch with them for over 2 years, they sign up and they become excellent reps. And so you don't ever want to, don't let yourself go there. Don't let yourself start thinking, well, they haven't responded to me, they must not be interested. Because they are. They just, maybe the timing wasn't right. They weren't interested at the time, but things change. We all change. Things change. Things happen. Someone who maybe was financially secure and didn't need the money today, tomorrow, little Johnny, their little kid, is being bullied at school, and they want to get their kid out of that school and into a private school. Or maybe Johnny needs braces and they got to figure out how they're going to pay for it, or whatever. Things change. So don't allow yourself to go there into this overthinking thing, because like I said down here, I am not a fortune teller and cannot possibly know for sure that is how they will respond. That's true, right? None of us know how they will respond. Unless they told us they weren't interested, we don't quit following up with them. Now, that is a little different though when I'm mailing brochures. If they haven't placed an order in, I usually give them about four months. If they haven't placed an order in 4 months, sometimes 3, depends, then I take them off my brochure list, because that costs me money and I have to use my money wisely, right? So if they haven't placed an order, then I take them off my brochure mailing list. But I give them like 3 to 4 months before I do that. And then if they place another order, they immediately go right back onto my brochure list. So they get one, And then now with the texting a brochure, in fact, when I'm taking people off of my physical mail brochure, I'm adding them to my text list. So they get the brochure anyway by text. I just have to save money somewhere, right? So Bonnie says, I have people say they love Avon or they've used it a long time ago, but they don't want a book. Who can you change their mind? How can you change their mind? Is that what you're asking me? How can you change their mind? First off, I would not try to change their mind. If they're not interested, if they don't want a book, then that's their decision. We don't have to beg or try to convince somebody. There's plenty of customers out there that want Avon. There's plenty of customers that love Avon. So the key is finding them. The key is it's a sorting process. Would you like a book? No? Okay, cool. Would you like a book? No? Okay, cool. Would you like a book? Yes? Awesome. Here's the book. Can I get your name and number so I can follow up with you before I place my order? It's pretty simple, but it's just a sorting process. It is not, you got to let go of the, what if they don't want it? How do I convince them? Because you don't need to convince them. Target doesn't convince them. They don't, if they pick up something off the shelf and they look at it and they decide they don't want it, Target's not going to try to convince them to buy it. Don't worry about it. The customer's going to go and they're going to buy something else. Maybe our customer might not buy from us. Maybe they want Mary Kay. Okay, I know that's a swear word here, but maybe they want Mary Kay, or maybe they want another cosmetic company, or maybe they want to buy it from the grocery store. Who cares? There's plenty of customers for all of us. We don't have to convince anybody.
Yep, they say go after the low-hanging fruit. Why get a ladder out and climb to the top of the tree to get an apple when there's 100 of them right at the ground level? You walk by and pick them.
One thing I teach over and over again in my team, that no matter what your problem is, no matter what you're struggling with in your business, there's one solution, just one solution, no matter what the problem is. And that solution is talk to more people. Bottom line, if your sales aren't good enough, you need to talk to more people. If your recruiting is not good enough, talk to more people. If whatever it is, if your team isn't doing enough, then talk to more people, recruit more people. Because like the 20-80 rule, when you're talking to people, maybe 20% of people might be interested in your business and 80% won't, right? And as customers and as recruits. And then let's just say that you signed up 20% of the people you talked to and they signed up to be Avon reps. Well, guess what? Now that they're Avon reps, there's still a 20-80 rule. That 20% of them are going to do something with their business and 80% are never going to place the first order. And then out of the ones that place that first order, there's another 20-80. It just keeps going that way. So the key is just no matter what is going on in your business, no matter what you're struggling with, talk to more people. So anyway, thanks, Bonnie. I'm glad you liked that. She says, good answer. Thank you, Bonnie. So you guys, that's all I have for today. You want to add anything else?
No, that was good.
Okay, so it was short and sweet. We were like 25 minutes. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day today, rest of your Sunday. And those of you that are in Utah, we have skincare clinics all week in Salt Lake. So if you're in town, be sure to come to that.
Yep, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And those of you that are not in Utah, I'm sure your coaches are doing skincare clinics all over the country because that's what they're being told to do right now. And that's where you can go learn about the LG products, all the amazing, the Face Shop products and all of that. And so be sure to get to one. If you have the opportunity, be sure to get to a skincare clinic. Anyway, we will be back. Let me take that off. There we go. Okay, so now it's us again. So we will be back next Sunday, same time, same place. And I have a plan about what I want to talk to next Sunday that will really help you grow your business. So anyway, hope you have a great week and have a great one. And we'll see you next week.
Happy selling, everyone.
Bye-bye.